Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Speaking the Truth About Money with Martin Coward and Joy the Wise Woman. I am both Martin Coward and Joy the Wise Woman. Martin Coward is my human name, and Joy the Wise Woman is my spiritual name. And I'm so excited. We're celebrating my birthday today with a very special guest, a very spiritual woman, Orgena Rose. She is a dynamic and inspirational speaker, a songwriter, producer, motivational speaker, and an award-winning voice expert. And today she's going to be sharing her love for life and how she's using all of her life experiences, including her expertise in the world of media, to get the word out and to raise love consciousness all over the world. So, Gina, thank you so much today for joining me on my birthday to celebrate this special day. And tell us a little bit before we get started about you, what you're doing, how you're changing the world. Give us a little bit of your story so that the listeners will know what a wonderful person Orgena Rose is and what you're doing right now, particularly to make a difference in the world.
Martin, thank you so much first for having me as your guest, for allowing me to be with you to celebrate your birthday. This truly is an exciting and wonderful day, and I am grateful to be here with you to celebrate this amazing time. And to answer your question and just share a bit about me, you've already shared a bit of my bio, so you can hear I've essentially been in the visibility, arts, entertainment. I've been on stage since I was 5 years old, and then added TV into my teens, and have done everything from musical theater to television to movies to radio. I left Broadway, which was really quite an amazing thing to be able to say. And literally the first opportunity that I went for was a movie, but I walked out with a job that landed in my lap as the first online entertainment producer. And this was an amazing opportunity that literally changed the trajectory of my life. And that, coupled with 25 plus years in being an award-winning voice coach and helping people to get their voice out. Of course, it began with singers, then to speakers and people of all ages. My whole life has been about really helping people to shine their light, to shine their light, getting their voice, their message out on stage, on TV, in documentaries, movie, on the radio, you name it. This has literally been my goal. It's what I've been able to do for, again, over 25 years of my career. And it's been my pleasure and my honor to help others to do the same, to really shine on stage, on TV, on camera, whatever that may be. And so that is how we've come to be connected.
Yes, we have. And let's just dial this down a little bit about the value and the importance, particularly as we've moved now into virtual space, where this has become the normal way we communicate. And as Brene Brown says, one of the bravest things anyone will ever do in their life is to share their story, because that's where we're the most vulnerable. But that's also where we get the most credibility about who we are and what we're trying to do in the world. Just for a few moments, I'd like you just to talk a little bit about the power of our voice and how we can use that as a message to change and transform the world.
Well, to do that, Martin, I'm going to go back to that moment when literally within inside me, I was, performing on Broadway, and I went out and I hit this opening pose, and everything in my being, with the clearest voice I've ever heard and felt, I heard, I'm done, complete. I don't want to do this anymore. I felt complete. I'd been performing on Broadway national tours for 4 years nonstop. So that's
Mm-hmm.
8 shows, 8 days, right? It's 7 shows a week, 6 days a week. It was a really incredible time, and I loved it. I loved absolutely every moment. And I felt and heard so clearly within my being, I'm complete. I'm done. And that moment was really powerful because that was the divine voice within speaking very, very clearly as to, okay, you are complete. This is done. Time for the next stage, the next level of you, the next expression of you as a divine being. And I didn't listen. I did not listen. I actually kept going because how do you leave Broadway? How do you leave this amazing place that some people spend their entire lives trying to get to, right? This pinnacle of success. How do you leave that? Even though your soul, your heart is calling for something else. And why I bring this up is because this is happening for each and every one of us every single day. We are being guided with our own divine voice that's within us. And that voice and that message must come through, must find expression. And of course, we can say no and we can repress, as I did. We can say, no, I'm not going to listen. I'm going to do what I think everyone else wants me to do. And we can try and follow that road for a while. And we may even have some success. But that divine voice within will always, always speak truth to you, your heart, and your soul. And when you align with that message and speak that truth out to the world, out to anyone, that is when your own energy literally rises to its highest and others will hear you. You don't have to speak louder, you don't have to work harder. Others will hear you when you're in full alignment. So, why is that important? Because we are each and every one of us here for a reason, right? We're here, and I believe each and every one of us has a calling, a message that is uniquely ours to share with our unique voice, because our voice is unique, like the snowflake, like a fingerprint. Our voices are unique. And again, when we are speaking the truth that's in our heart and our soul, ah, watch out because that's when the waves part and the floodgates open and truly your way is made clear in this world. It's truly powerful. It's truly
Yeah,
powerful. So,
I that is beautifully summed up, and I could not agree more. I mean, all of us. I mean, I became a top producer in a big firm, and I thought, oh, I finally got to the place in the world where but I was miserable, and I actually came
yes,
falling down, and when I fell down from that pinnacle, I didn't have it quite as. It was like a voice said, Martin, none of this stuff that you're worried about matters. It matters that you really just approach life from a place of love and gratitude and let me, the divine, do all the rest. And that's where that voice of authority is. And I want to just say
yes.
something here because because I'm celebrating my birthday today. And I'm also celebrating about a year that I met a man named Abba Henry. And I did exactly what
Mm,
you did. About a little over a year ago, I was working on trying to create my coaching business. I thought it was the right thing to do. I was looking for executives, people who could pay my bill, and all this kind of great. I had a great mission in the world to help my
mhm.
fellow LGBTQ executives be able to come be their best themselves. But you know what happened is I got a calling, a deep calling from inside to help
Mm,
my fellows in Africa from Abba Henry. It didn't come out like in a virtual, but I could feel it
right.
intuitively. And when I had this opportunity to say no to my rational mind, and my husband's like, "What are you out of your mind? You're going to get on a plane and you're going to fly to Nairobi and deliver a cell phone to this guy? They don't even have any money. What are you doing?" I said, "Who is my best client? The man or the woman that needs my help the most." And I'm getting a calling from something deeper within me to go to Nairobi and meet this person and see how I can help them. And I got to tell you, what that taught me is to start saying yes, yes, yes every day to all of the divine opportunities that are coming my way. Because what you just said, once I did that, my life has become wildly exciting. And I did go to Nairobi and I did say yes. And now Abba
Yeah.
Henry is my business partner and my friend.
Mm,
We connected at this very deep level. It was like our souls connected. And together, we got all these wonderful projects that we're doing to change the world. So, what you're saying is so cruel. And so many of us have such a hard time of slowing down long enough to just
Yes.
listen to what the universe is trying. All the opportunities, all the things we're looking for are right in front of us, but we can't see them because our minds think they look like something else.
It's just like a radio station. It's just like a radio station. You can't hear what's on 106.1 if you're tuned in to 93.7. Yes, you're not going to
Right.
hear what's over there. You're not going to hear it. So the message that's trying to get through and in and to and out through you is not going to make it until you tune in, until you shift and change and allow yourself to be open to hear that divine voice that's within you, that's ready to speak through you out into the world. Right,
Ah,
we'll continue to work really hard and struggle and push and all of those things and wonder just why is it not quite lining up well. Yeah, we'll just wonder why isn't it just clicking, because we know what that feels like. I know every single one of you out there knows what that feels like when it does just feel in alignment and it just whoosh, it just goes, it
yes.
flows, and you really do feel in this beautiful divine flow. It's an amazing, amazing place to be. We all know it. And then it's like, what happens? Where did that go?
Yeah, it's like and it's like let's take a little step back for all those people out there who might thinking, are they just speaking woo-woo stuff about the divine? How would someone know that they're not listening? What what would be some signs? I mean, I've got some ideas, but what would you say some signs are that people know so they know they're not in alignment? And what could they do to get into alignment so they can begin to hear this voice? What would you suggest to
Yeah.
our audience today about that?
Yeah, the first part of that question, the number one sign of being in alignment is a real sense of peace. Is a
Right.
real sense of peace. There's a peace and an ease within your own being that nobody else out there can give you. It's already in there. And this is important because even when things don't appear to be looking like it's going perfectly and well, you can still have peace because you know you are being called, you know that you're on your path, you know that you're in alignment. So you just stay on the journey. You just
Yeah.
stay open and listen and allow, aha, call so and so over here, text message comes in over here. Oh, I just feel you will be inspired, you will be guided. So to me, that's that crucial piece, is staying open and at peace within so that you can hear and see. There's a thing about our brains that when we get into fear, yeah, a certain part of our brains literally it shuts down being able to hear. We actually can't hear
Right.
what people are saying. Yeah, we're in fear, right? The amygdala. We could go down that road a whole year, but the point is, when we're in fear and terror, we're not able to actually be open and hear that divine guidance because now we're kind of spinning and we're worry, and that part of the brain, once that takes over, we're really going to struggle. So get yourself into that peace. All of the tools that you have, whatever they are, whether it's go for a walk, meditation, yoga, a swim, a run, whatever it is for you that helps to bring a sense of peace within your own soul, connecting in, and stay there, stay in the eye of what may feel like the storm, stay in the eye of that storm, and
Yeah.
you will be guided. What may seem like a struggle or difficulty or wondering today, doors open. And next thing you know, a connection are made and it feels like you're just soaring. And this is what has happened for me. This is what happens. I mean, the rest of that story, let me just finish that. When I didn't listen to that divine voice and I stayed on Broadway, literally within weeks, my entire right side of my body compacted. So we're talking a cervical spine strain, bursitis in my shoulder, sciatica down my back, groin pull, hamstring pull. My entire right side of my body literally collapsed a bit. And I had to actually be carried off the stage. Okay. That was me not listening.
You- I can so identify that. we're not listening, we're not at peace. We've got an inner conflict going on.
Yes.
Our
Yes.
heart, our
Yes.
consciousness is calling us to do something. And we're saying,
Yes.
oh, no, 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 no. I got too many other things to do. I got this to do. I got that to do. I got this to do. And then things like happen. Like I found myself on the edge of bankruptcy and my car repossessed. And I'm like,
Yep.
how did I get here?
Yep.
I'm a wealth manager. Because
Right.
I didn't slow down and listen to something that the divine was calling me to do. I didn't understand it. So
Yeah.
we all, and that's a wonderful sign. If you're struggling, as a coach, as a coach, I help people stop struggling with money and stop. If you're
Yes.
struggling,
Yes.
it's really a self-worth issue. People don't understand that, but really, if
Yes.
you're struggling with a self-worth issue. You're not feeling good, so what we're out there doing is we're out there trying to prove to the world that we're worthy of love. I'm a great
Yes.
actress. I'm on the stage. I'm a great. I'm showing the world just how worthy of love. I'm a top producer in a big firm. The universe
Right.
doesn't care. It does not. You're all worthy, and the antidote to that is self-love. It's learning
That's
to
it.
love yourself, and everything that I teach and I coach is around the teaching of the great master to love your God with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul, and love your neighbor.
Yes.
That single comment,
That's it.
that single
That's
commandment,
everything.
that is the key to living a good life. So you ask yourself, are you loving yourself? Are you loving the God within? And God's not something that's out there in the middle of God knows where, learn about in Sunday school. God is right here. God is who you are.
Right
And you want
here.
to love
Right.
that part of yourself. And that's what you're teaching. And that's what I'm teaching is how do you love yourself enough to let go of all
Exactly.
those false beliefs that I need to do all these things to prove I'm lovable. I just need to love. I
And
just need to
that's it.
let God love me.
And that's a real key, Martin. What you just said is all of those other beliefs, thoughts, voices of other people. I call it OPV, other people's voices can really have you tossing and turning all over the place. And if you're believing and connecting and aligning with their voices over the divine voice that's within you, that's where you get into trouble. That's where we
Right.
get into out of alignment and we get tossed and turned in worry because not, we've decided to not love ourselves and love the divine that's within us. Yeah, enough to actually say, I'm going to trust. It may not
I'm
make
going
sense, like your story. It may not make sense. It may seem crazy, but this is what I'm called. This is what is in me to do. This is that next step I am guided to do. So and it takes courage. That takes real courage. And that's where the challenge is for so many of us. And that's where we find ourselves. This is what I love about you, Martin. You and I are both in alignment about really being on a mission that every single human on this planet knows that they are loved, experiences love and abundance absolutely every
that
single day of your life. That's everything. That's it.
and that's what we're celebrating, my brother. We are definitely. I mean, once I woke up to this truth that I am so much
Yeah.
bigger than this guy Martin in that financial services firm. I'm actually, and you are. Every human being is fully spirit and fully human. And the
Yes,
only difference between people like you and me is we're aware of it versus people who are not aware of it. And once
that's
we
it.
become aware of it, you can't unrealize it. Once you become aware that you are the conscious energy that's holding everything in the world in universal, including life forms in other galaxies. And when you open
Mm,
up that channel, you begin to communicate with those spiritual life forms. I do, and I would imagine you do too. It's something
well,
it's not consciousness is not just to the planet Earth. It is universal consciousness that includes all life forms throughout the universe. And where that space is holding that, which may sound a little bit woo-woo, but the reality is once you realize that's who you are, you have the power to change the
exactly.
world.
That's the awakening. That's the moment of awakening. That's that place of realizing who you truly are, who you are as that divine being having a human experience. right?
That's
As the
exactly
divine
right.
spirit having a human experience. So you are both, and you hold both realities together, not either or, it's both and. And
It's
so
both
I'm
and.
having this human experience, and I connect in with the divine that is in me, that is who I am at my core, and I allow them to coexist. Yes, together, not at war, coexist, and allow myself to be guided still as the divine being that I am. And then, Martin, because I've heard you say this word woo woo, and a lot of people can go, okay, that's really nice up there, woo woo, but how do I feed my family? How do I make sure I have a roof over my head? That is the first step. We're spending this time on this because that's the foundation. That's the
Exactly.
number one step for everything, because from there you get guidance. You will be connected to people. Doors will open, opportunities will show up, and you'll know, aha, this is my next step. I left Broadway, I got carried off. And then when I felt guided, I go back to Philadelphia. Now I'm there to care for my godmother who's in her, approaching 80, has cancer and Alzheimer's. I get to be there for her in her final years. And then this amazing opportunity drops into my lap. Was that coincidence? Of course not. Of
No,
course not. There is
that
no
was
such thing, except
there's
that it
no
is
such thing.
co
Every,
it's a co-creation. Yes.
it's
So that's
all
it.
it's, it's so lovely, isn't it?
It is. It's a divine adventure if we will let it be. Yeah, if we will let it be, and if we will stay in the joy, I love that your spiritual name. If we will stay in the joy and stay in the peace, we can actually enjoy the journey even when it looks like a hot mess. And I really say that because, you and I both have experienced what felt at the time like a hot mess. It's like, wait a minute, what's this? What's going on here? But it's all an opportunity for the amazing divine adventure that we all signed up for and came here to experience. That's it.
I,
That's
it,
it.
it it looks like I often laugh about what 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 looks like a divine man, what looks like a tragedy when the soul is weeping. I mean,
Mm,
the ego is weeping for what it has lost, the soul is
mm,
rejoicing by what it has found because we have liberated ourselves. We're now
yeah,
free to live and plug into that higher power of consciousness that transforms and changes lives. And
yeah,
that's how we take things like being on the edge of bankruptcy, trying to do all this stuff, to just letting go and
right,
allowing the divine
right.
universe to support me and
Yes,
bring me back into solvency, bring me back into the ability to pay my bills.
exactly.
It wasn't about what I was doing, it was about who I am being. And
That's big.
when I am being light consciousness, when I am being that love light energy, I have the ability to create anything that comes from the desire of the heart.
That's it. That's it. So I love that. And I call that many times a divine reset. It's a divine reset. There's a saying that I love, when you're climbing the ladder of success, make sure that ladder is against the right building.
Absolutely. You
Make
know,
sure you have your
I like to make an analogy to butterflies and caterpillars. The butterfly and the caterpillar both have the same DNA. The only
That's right.
difference is that the butterfly is fully aware that it was once a caterpillar. The caterpillar has no idea that it's a butterfly. And if we
Yeah.
butterflies, we spiritual beings, go out and try to talk to a caterpillar about their ability to fly as a butterfly, they think we're woo
Mhm.
woo. That's where that comes
They
from.
think we're crazy.
They
That's
we're
true.
crazy. So how
That's
do we?
right. Yeah.
Where I'm going to with this is that one of the beauties of what you do is you help people articulate their authentic voice in a way from their butterfly, so that
Yeah.
the caterpillars can understand them, can relate to
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
add a few comments around that thought, if you would.
Absolutely. And I really love the analogy because indeed we are butterflies And we are many times crawling around as if we are only caterpillars, not realizing that indeed we are butterflies in the making, in the making. And so this is where I believe each of us is here for one another, right? This is why we're here for each other, is we get to remind each other who we are, and that, and help to tap into that butterfly that's within you, and you and you and you and every single one of us, and say, aha, what's the truth, what's the beautiful, what are the beautiful colors and the beautiful sounds that are waiting to come from you? What's that message that's been sitting in you, that's been waiting inside you? You know, the butterfly is already present in the caterpillar. Yeah,
Yes.
there's a metamorphosis, there's a transition. And during that transition, this is a key piece, because it's been what we've been speaking about. The cells of the butterfly and the caterpillar actually fight against each other. So when we are actually about to have an amazing transformation up to that higher level, we will often fight it. We'll call it self-sabotage, all sorts of things we have in the language for it, but that's part of the journey as well. And so when you come into contact with someone who is helping you to become that next iteration of who you are, become the butterfly that you are, they're going to probably press some buttons. Yeah, they're going to really change up things, your energy, they're switching up your energy. All of that's happening and helping you to become more of who you truly are, helping you to tap into the divine message, that butterfly language that's already in you, just waiting to come out with full
Right.
expression and soar and fly around the world. So that's what we come into contact with, amazing people on our journeys who help us do exactly that. And if we will stay in that yes, the yes that's in our soul, I call it honoring your yes. Honor the yes that's within you that says, I'm ready for that transformation. I'm ready for change. I'm ready for my next level, for my highest level. I'm ready to soar. Then when people show up who are ready to show you how to do that, because they are soaring, yeah, they are flying, then stay open and flexible and allow the shifts and changes that are going to happen. Allow even the discomfort that it will bring, because I promise you, it will be uncomfortable. It will be,
Well,
there will
yeah,
be
what we're doing is, if you're a caterpillar, we're basically we're about to threaten the life of the caterpillar.
you think like you're trying to end my life, you're trying to kill me. And it's like, no, I'm helping you to shed that skin that's holding you and keeping you
Right.
small. That's it.
Yes, it
That's
is.
it.
But it feels like you're trying to kill me as the caterpillar, which
It, it feels
which is
like,
why
oh, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? You're
wow.
messing up my whole life, like everything I built my whole life on. You're telling me that's not it, or something, do something
Yeah,
different.
I've been struggling to get
Yes.
across these two leaves for the last 40 years. And why are you telling, almost the other side, why are you telling me that I can actually fly? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I can't
Right.
believe that our 30 minutes is coming to an end soon. We've
I
been here on my
know.
birthday,
I
and I've been so excited
know.
about this. I want to just give you a chance to talk a little bit about how people can get to know you, how they can find you. Because, I will just want to say that I've come to know Orgena in the last few months. We're both part of the same coaching program, and she helped me and my business partner produce a video, an interview video, which is being premiered next week. And it was one of the most exciting experiences I've ever been through. And I can't wait to see what comes out next week. So I want to thank you, one, publicly, for the support you gave me, and just say that if you would like some support in getting your message out there in a way that people can, the caterpillars can understand, Orgena is an expert at helping you find that authentic voice and relate it in a way that people are going to understand it. So how do people find you if they want to hire you to work with you and help you? If they want
Yes,
you to
yes,
help
the
them.
easy. Well, the easiest way, there are two ways: divinespiritnetwork.com. Divinespiritnetwork.com is the easiest way. It is the network that I created through divine guidance to help get beautiful transformational messages on TV, in movies, in music, out to the world. We have up to 500 partners that we distribute content out to. So we really help you to soar as that butterfly and getting your authentic voice and message out to the masses. Because that's, once you get clear about what it is that you're here to say, now it's about get out there. And that, again, through the gifts and the journeys that I've been on, I've been able to really build amazing connections and partnerships to do exactly that. So I love helping people to do that. So divinespiritnetwork.com, or you my name, which is orgenarose.com. So orgenarose.com or divinespiritnetwork.com. Again,
Well,
Martin, so much for this time. I'm so excited. It has flown by. Wish we had more, but so happy that I got to celebrate your birthday with you. Happy birthday to you. Let
well,
me
thank
be
you
first.
so much, and I thank you, and I have had such a great time. You're right. You're one of those beautiful spiritual people who've come into my life in the last few months to help me get my word out, and I'm so grateful for that. And thank you so much for being my guest on my show today. And uh, may love and prosperity prevail across the world.